Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Juan Carlos Brando, and for me, it's a pleasure to have every one of you joining us today in this show with the attorney Margaret W. Wong, who has been working on this field for over 46 years. And it's always an honor to have the attorney Wong giving us advice about what's going on in the immigration world in the United States. So thank you so much for joining. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask your question live in this show, and the attorney Margaret W. Wong will be answering your questions. So the phone number that you need to dial to call the office is 216-279-3984, 216-279-3984, and the attorney Margaret W. Wong will be happy to answer your questions and set an appointment for you in any of the 7 cities that she has offices in: Atlanta, Chicago, Cleveland, Columbus, in Nashville, New York, and Raleigh, North Carolina. And the phone number is just the same: 216-279-3984, 216-279-3984. Let's welcome our attorney, Margaret W. Wong. Hello, Ms. Wong. How are you doing today?
I am very good, and thank you.
Thank you so much. Very, very nice blazer or jacket. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Wong, for giving your time to all the audience that we have in this show. And I would like to start by asking, where we are getting to the last trimester of this year, 2023, and we have seen some changes, and the next year is an election year. So what are your thoughts to the last part of this 2023, and maybe what should we do to get ready for 2024?
Yes. So basically for 2024, I just wish whoever won, of course, I hope Biden wins, because I really agree with his immigration policy, is that we need not so much comprehensive immigration reform, but we need them to take away the perm bar. The Mexican people are the mostly hurt. In fact, we have the Mexican Council here in Cleveland with us yesterday, and we hosted their party. We talked about all these policies, because it's so easy for Mexicans to go out for a funeral and come back to America, go out for a wedding and come back, go out and meet a girlfriend and get married and come back without a visa. So anytime you left and come back, if you stayed in America undocumented for more than 360 days cumulatively, so 5 days here, 10 days there, you will never get a green card. I mean, this is a serious penalty for someone who didn't know. But this practice of leaving and coming, it really stopped after 9/11. It really stopped by 2003, 2004, even though the new law really came in 1997. Oh my gosh, I am all these old dates. Since then, no new law. Perm bar has to go. Also, undocumented entry when parents are over 21. Of course, the parents are over, and when the children are over 21, they would not get the green card. So that law have to change. There's a lot of changes that we really would like the new president, because by then, hopefully, there'll be changes. The quota has to go up. Right now, Indian people is waiting 10, 15 years to get a green card, even though they make hundreds and thousands of dollars, because EB2, EB3. So a lot of changes need to be done. But as far as now, the good news is for the Venezuelans, even though the new arrivals are giving us a lot of problems, as long as you came to America before 2023, and Mr. Juan Carlos, what's the date? It's June 30th, right?
Yes,
the date, yeah. Right, before June 30th. The old date is before March, August of 2021, but that's the only country that changed the date of entry. El Salvador remains the same, Colombians, everything remains the same. The CAMP program remains the same. So things are changing under Biden, but we need more changes to make us happy.
Thank you so much, Ms. Wong, for these comments and this answer. And of course, we are looking forward to see what's going to happen next year. And this thing of the perm bar is really hard, but also when we talk about family petitions, the I-130, this 10-year bar or 5-year bar, when you are going to apply for your parents, is really tough because you don't qualify as a relative. You're not a qualifying relative to file for your parents if they are here in the United States without inspection. So, um, would there be a light possibility, a tiny possibility of having this sort of change?
This change, it really again resulted in 1997. The original intent always have been, if I came undocumented or if I've lied somehow at the border or use a phony social, which so many people have done, or lied about something, only the spouse and the parents could give you a pardon, a waiver. Children cannot. I don't know if that law would ever change, because in the olden days, most people in the olden days is in the 90s and year 2000s. We normally came when you were young, we're single, you have no children. So the lawmakers in those days were not thinking, oh, we do have children. They will grow up. Now most of these kids are 21-year-old now. Personally, it's such a minute, and even immigration lawyers don't know that. You and I know that because we have so many cases stuck in the middle. Um, but you're right. I hope it changed. But that's one of the minor things that they're not talking about. Because the whole thing is we could not probably convince them, my American public, oh, I came illegally 30 years ago. I showed Texas ID and I came in. Now my children are over 21 or under 21. Can we do a waiver? It doesn't sell. We need that catchword, to sell an idea.
Yes, thank you so
But
much.
you're right. We absolutely need to have a change.
Yes, we need a change because is I would say it's not fair
It is not fair.
for people uh, to be the target of a political campaign to say, well, we're going to do this and that for immigrants, and then there are no changes. And I know
Right.
it's because the public powers or arms are one of the is Republican, the other one is Democrat, and the other ones are splitted. So it's hard to get them all together to think the same way. So we just hope that we have some changes next year. Okay, Ms. Wong, are we ready to start with some questions?
Yes.
Okay, let's start. Robin says, hello guys, I have TPS. It's time for renewal. Can I just have TPS but no EAD?
Yes, you could.
Yes.
Yes, you can just do the 821. You don't have to do the 765.
Okay, and this person has bona fide from
Good.
you.
Yeah, you already have the C14. That's why you don't need a work permit from TPS. Yes, just do the 821.
Yes, Ms. Wong. So in this case, for TPS holders, I've heard the rumor that is starting on October the 1st, people are going to be given
5 years.
5-year work
Right.
permit.
Yeah, we just talked about that. It's not confirmed, but there is a rumor for TPS is 5 years, for asylum maybe 5 years because of the backlash from New York and all those Chicago, all those places. I also have heard that, but we don't know. But the good news is they are changing. Like the green card pending work permit used to be for C4, C9 for 1 year, now it's 2 years. The A10 used to be for 1 year, now it's 2 years. The 765 receipt used to be for 1 year or even 6 months, now it's 4 years. So things are getting prolonged. So let's pray that they will give us 5 years work permit, but we don't know yet.
Okay. Thank you so much,
Thank
Ms.
you.
Wong. And for this person that has the C14, could this person apply for
Yes.
the TPS and get
Later,
it?
100%. As long as you have TPS, you can always apply for work permit anytime you want.
Perfect. That's good. Thank you so much, Ms. Wong. Let's go ahead with the next question. And it says, I am an EB5 applicant. Um, the application was made via Hong Kong agency in 2019. Recently, I searched on the website and found the US lawyer and the company NCE responsible for the EB5 project are shown as dissolution.
Oops.
I contacted the Hong Kong agency and the staff who are responsible for the project has resigned. Right now, I need to find another U.S. lawyer to provide advice and handle the rest of the paperwork, such as withdrawal of I-526 on this matter. I also suspect that this
Is a fraud.
is a fraud.
Yeah. So, number one, I won't be that worried yet. When you file the 526, so what is a 526 and you want to withdraw? 526 is the EB5 visa petition. There's only four visa petition. I-130 by families, I-140 by employer based, like you're a nurse, you're an engineer, there's lawyers, doctors, we're all I-140s. 526 is EB5, is only for investment. 360 are for widows, ward of court cases. That's really only four. So I don't necessarily think you want to withdraw unless you want to withdraw. You probably already have TPS from Hong Kong. That's a problem with us immigration law firms. A lot of people, my own partner left me. I felt very sad, but good for him. Now he's a judge and he's becoming, I mean, I know my partner, Scott Breton, he is a great judge. So everybody's quitting or leaving or doing other type because it is a very hard, it's getting harder and harder. I don't even know why I'm here, but I love my job. I still love my job. Let's wait and see what happens. But you're right. A lot of US law firms, US lawyers are dissolving. I won't worry about it. There is a bar association, like my license controlled by my bar, and I'm an Ohio lawyer, so I'm controlled by Ohio bar. I'm a New York lawyer, so I'm controlled by New York bar. Maybe you want to write a letter to the bar because the dissolve doesn't mean there's no file. It only means someone took the file. If you couldn't find them in their, personal address or something, write a letter to the bar. You're not filing as a complaint. You just say, I understand they dissolved. Is there some way I can get my file back? Most lawyers, even though they retired, they dissolve. I actually have some lawyers, I call them, their files in the basement. I say, oh, Margaret, I'm so happy you called me because I want to get rid of my files. I just don't know where to find my clients who, thinking I retired, they went to another lawyer. So I would not be that worried about looking for a new lawyer yet, because the case is already filed. It's taking like 4 or 5 years for 526 to be approved. I don't necessarily think it's fraud. And I think, and I know all my friends tell me, are you a fraud? I'm like, oh, because there are good lawyers and there are good lawyers. But a lot of lawyers are very tired, very burned out. It's just not a good time in the past 10, 15 years to practice immigration law because it is getting harder and sadder and the bad reputation we got. So for now, I won't. And also the agency, I don't know if they dissolved, maybe write them a letter, maybe write Better News or Better Business Bureau in Hong Kong. I don't think so because Hong Kong is a very small. I came from Hong Kong. That's why I smiled when I saw you. It's a very small island, and it's very regulated. Especially now, I went back to China. I mean, it's tough. So I would write the bar associate. You can also do a FOIA to U.S. Immigration, to USCIS to get your old file back. I won't give up, and I won't assume it's fraud because EB5, especially with the regional center, normally it's not fraud. And also, if it's I'm pretty sure it did not do a direct investment case. If it's direct investment, more the power is not fraud because you are investing your own money into your own projects. We do a lot of EB5. If not, call me. I'll see what I can do for you. But for now, I don't think you're in a hurry because the file is sitting there waiting to be adjudicated. Maybe do a FOIA. Maybe write the bar associate. There's a lot. America is wonderful. I love America because we have people controlling. Like if you are not happy with your real estate agent, they have a real estate at the board of real estate, like agency in Ohio. Columbus is the capital of Ohio. You don't happy with your lawyers, call the bar association. America is really nice. And don't assume this is Homeland Security. Most lawyers who really have done fraud, not one or two cases, maybe hundreds of cases. There is the FBI who do pick them up, like in New York, Chinatown. There was like one day, there were like 40 law firms and agencies that were stopped. And we all hear about the news. So news spread very fast, both in Hong Kong and America. I won't assume it's fraud unless we have paperwork to prove it. It may be a little bit of irregularity, but the good news about EB5 is also SEC, SEC, the securities department, they're with it, and they're really. I have some schoolmates when I was going to law school in Buffalo that became SEC lawyers. Since I'm 73, most of them retired, but they were really good lawyers in the early days. And even now, SEC, the Public Prosecutor's Office, they really get some really good lawyers because there are people who really like that, you know. But I won't worry too much about this case.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Wong. So, please, if you need more advice or more details on this case, please just give us a call. The phone number is 216-279-3984, 216-279-3984. Bring all your paperwork, and the attorney Margaret W will help you find out what's going on with your case, and hopefully it's not a fraud. The next question says, I have the prima facie approved
On the U visa, right?
Since April. How long should I wait until I can file for my work permit?
Oh, no. You should have filed the work permit. When you filed the 918, I presume you're a C14. So when you file the U visa, I presume it's a U visa because Wawa also have a bona fideness letter, but a lot of people are talking about because of the Biden new law. Biden now is saying that you can get a C14 work permit for 4 years if you get a bona fides letter. Normally the work permit comes the second day. So if you already got the bona fides letter in April, second day or same day, you should have gotten the work permit. My gut is probably to save some money. Your lawyer did not file the work permit, and I file all types. So my clients always say, oh, my friend paid only this. Why do you pay this? I said, well, the work permit costs $410. And so for the C14 work permit, to save you some money, and also especially under Trump, people don't file it because Trump always deny it anyway. So, but I was lucky I filed it. So my clients are getting it. So now they stop complaining. But sometimes clients complain if you file it because you're wasting money. So it's difficult, But so my gut is your lawyer didn't file it. You should ask if they didn't file it, because your question is, when do you file it? Today. File is M65, the number on the form. They ask what's your category. The category is C14. It should be approved. Right now it's taking a long time. I'm sorry you didn't file it, because you should have gotten it in April, but file it now. If you need my help, I can help you. It's not that difficult. U visa is not rocket science. And when's the approval? The approval should be coming. Right now, it's really sad. They're not. I haven't seen any approvals and RFVs for months, but they should be coming. Depends, because right now they're looking at cases filed before January 2017. But bona fideness, because of the Biden new law, is coming down, but it's still taking a long time. There was a time it takes only 2 or 3 months, but now it's taking. I have cases that's still running 1.5 years. I'm still waiting.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Wong, for this answer. And we have a bunch of questions coming in through our Facebook and YouTube Live. So don't forget, the phone number is 216-279-3984, 216-279-3984. Attorney Margaret W. Wong, with over 46 years of experience working in the immigration field and helping thousands of families to get an immigration relief. Next question is, hi, is there bar for people that entered through Canada on a temporary entry permit and stayed in the United States?
That's a very, very good question. Canadians, you don't even need a visa. So if you're a Canadian citizen, you don't need a visa, but still you only have 6 months. But because there's no visa stamp in your passport, if you're overstay, it's 6 months. If you overstay, technically that's a way to argue it because you didn't know. So if you are a landed immigrant in Canada, to come in, you need a stamp. You need a visa stamp.
Yeah, I think this person is not from Canada.
Oh, that enters
through Canada to the United States.
Oh, so he's undocumented. He just walked through Canada. Then Yeah, there's a bar. I mean, you cannot adjust because you came to America illegally. I'm sorry about the misunderstanding. And thank you, Mr. Juan Carlos.
Yeah, so this person says that I understand is not from Canada, but came from somewhere else, landed in Canada, and came to the United States on a temporary permit, but stayed in the United
Oh,
States.
so maybe you already have a tourist visa. So, but why do you have to come illegally in Canada? If you come undocumented, you would not be able to come. But that's why it's a weird
I think it's
question.
I think it's just an overstay question.
Oh, okay. So you cannot overstay. I'm sorry. Yeah,
Thank you so much, Ms.
I'm
Wong.
sorry. Yeah.
Okay. Hello, dear Attorney Wong. Thank you so much for this answer. And the question is, just received withholding of removal. How much is?
Congratulations. And don't think you lose, okay? Because I have so many clients who, when we win the withholding, that means you're going to get A10. Now I think A10 is even going for 2 years. They may extend it for 5 years. And don't think you lose. I know. You probably want A5, which is an asylum grant, but withholding is just as good. You just cannot leave the country. But for me, it's a grant. So I think we should be happy about it. You probably did not file within a year. Because if you file within a year, you would have granted asylum. You have 5 years work permit. Yes, there's a rumor it's happening. Yeah, that's an A10 work permit. For now, it's good for 2 years, but there was a time it's only good for 1 year. There was a time you don't even get anything because you get a grant. Why do you need a work permit? But congratulations. Yes, there's a likelihood for 5 years, but don't worry about it. I'll tell you why for asylum people, it's important for the 5 years because if in the meantime you married an American, you say you're gay, but you became a homosexual, and then you became metrosexual, you became a bisexual. So the 5 years protect you more. You already won the case. It doesn't matter 5 years or 2 years. That's what I mean for us immigrants because we are very smart people, because we're so smart that we want everything now. Do I get 2 years or 1 year or 5 years? I mean, in your case, it doesn't matter. So pay another $410 to get 2 more years. That's the way you should. If I were you, I would look at it. Otherwise, you'd never be happy. And I know it's hard. And I'm sorry about that. But be happy you won.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Wong. Next question, and don't forget the phone number is 216-279-3984, 216-279-3984. Hello, Madam Wong. Please, will the pending government shutdown affect immigration? I'm still waiting on my
No,
I-730.
7:30 does not affect. Oh, you're right. Yes. I was thinking. Yes. October 1st, there is potential government shutdown. You don't have to go. Anybody who I'm glad you raised that question. Anybody who have court or immigration interview don't need to go anymore until the government is up, and they will give you a new date. But if your 765 is expiring, still file it. You still get a stamp, but you won't get the approval. Yes, 730 is a CIS issue. Yes, it will. It doesn't matter. It's only a few days here and there. 730 is taking 2 or 3 years, and I'm really sorry. Sometimes 9 months. In the olden days, when Kathy Redmond was in charge, it's only 2 weeks. Now she retired. Oh my gosh, all my old friends retired. So 730 is taking 1.5 to 2.5 years. I'm sorry about that, but it will not affect that much because they're not working on 730 anyway.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Wong. And we have another question related to work permit, and it says, do VAWA applicant or are
Yes,
VAWA applicants eligible for 5 year
you
work?
already may qualify for 4 years because if it's a bona fideness letter, you may or may not be able to get the C14 because it's bona fideness, is a deferred action. So it depends on what permit. If you file the 485, you have a 2-year work permit. So it depends because it's not 4-year work permit or 5-year work permit. It's a category. Like C14 is already 4 years. A11 is only up to the period of the parole. C9 is 2 years. They're talking about 5 years. I don't know if they will because that means that people they can actually get divorced. The C9 is a 45 work permit, it's a green card pending. So, for example, I married an American citizen, right? They already denied my I-130, they denied a 45, but I have a 5-year work permit. People keep showing the work permit because the employers don't know that it's already canceled. So I don't know about C9. So it really depends on the number of the work permit, the category of the work permit. So Wawa, if it's a C9, you may only still get to, it depends. With C14 is 4 years. So it depends on how your lawyer filed it. I normally file 45 with it. So I would get a C9 work permit. And you don't even need to wait for the bona fideness letter.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Wong. Don't forget, the attorney Margaret W. Wong is just at one call of distance. She has offices in 7 cities of the United States: Atlanta, Chicago, Columbus, Cleveland, Nashville, New York, and Raleigh, North Carolina. And the phone number is just 1-216-279-3984, 216-279-3984. Next question is interesting. Says, hi, I am Venezuelan. I am a student. I have an asylum pending and already have a TPS. I filed the re-registration a year ago, but the college where I'm studying is asking me for a document that proves that my TPS is current so I can get my scholarship.
Yes, so you should show them you filed the first TPS, right? Mr.
Yes.
Juan Carlos, which means
Yes.
that he could show them the approval of the TPS. Because
Yes.
TPS is never, it is permanent because it's only good for 24 months. So I don't know what they want. Maybe it's for your scholarship. Just show them the work permit. You already have a CA. I don't know what state you are, like Chicago, Illinois, New York. You don't even need to show something. You're already getting in-state tuition. Ohio, if you only show a CA or TPS, is still out of state. So it depends on the state you are. I don't know if I answer your question, but TPS, you can just show them your approval of TPS. You are re-registered, show them the receipt notice, and show them your work permit. In America, even a green card is not permanent. They only give you a 10-year green card now. So I don't know what maybe it's talking about in-state tuition.
Yeah, so it looks like this person says they want to register me as a foreign student because I don't have the proof that the TPS is
Yeah,
current.
if you can show me what state you are in, I can help you because the state controls the tuition. Because if you only get a C8 or C33, right? TPS is C33, correct? So they would only do as a foreign student, like in Ohio. Georgia, oh, Republican. No, yeah, you're right. Georgia, you're not going to change their mind. If you stay in Georgia, my advice is people who live in Florida, Texas, move out of there. That's the only way to show you are powerful because we can vote. So your action will show. If enough people move out of Georgia, their economy decline because if you get a ticket in Georgia, it's $1,500. Who has money to pay that? Georgia is horrible. I have an office there. Actually, the courts are getting nicer. Thank you, because it's a great relief to have a new, and thank you. I don't want to mention your name. You're going to get a lot of emails, but thank you. You have a new ACC. The ICE office is getting nicer. Stewart is getting a little bit nicer, very nicer. But the police station is bad. The whole state is bad. And mark my words. Change, please. You're going to lose a lot of population. Oh, Mr. Juan Carlos lives in Georgia. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And actually, they just removed the program 287G in two of the main counties that have more immigrants. So
it's
a good thing.
Congratulations. Yeah, thank you.
They're getting nicer. But there are other policies that depend a lot on the politics, and hopefully you're gonna get a relief on this case. Okay, Ms. Wong, this last question that we're getting here for today, because our time is up, says, if I receive withholding of removal and IJ granted me dismissal of removal, can I ask IJ to re-award me withholding?
Wait, I thought you already got withholding. If you got withholding, the judge should not dismiss your removal. Well, that's an interesting question, because withholding means that you had a removal final order. If they've dismissed the removal, I've never researched that. You should not even have withholding. So you need to talk to your lawyer. Because if you have withholding means that the computer would say dismissal, even though it's a withholding. Because withholding means that you cannot travel out of the country, but you can stay here for a long, 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 long time to get that A10. C10 is 10-year cancellation. A10 is withholding. Talk to your lawyer on that, because I see what you're saying. Because if the web still shows removal, well, actually, I don't understand your question. If the web still says removal, you have withholding, that's okay. Because the web have to say removal because it is a removal order, but they give you withholding. That means that they let you stay here, stay here. But ICE right now is not also reporting. In the Trump days and in Bush days, they keep, not Bush, but maybe later Bush, but not the old Bush, the young Bush maybe. So the ICE still wants to report once every 1 year, once every 2 years, because a lot of Ukrainians and Russians, they get ICE, they get withholding. The old Soviet people, like the Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, they all get withholdings. So talk to
Okay.
your lawyer about that. Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully the attorney will have an answer for you. Or if you need more information, just give us a call. The phone number is 216 279 3984. 216 279 3984. Ms. Wong, our time is up for today. Thank you so much for having us, and looking forward to see you next Wednesday at 9:30 in the morning Eastern Time, and next Thursday in English at 12:30 Eastern Time. So thank you and have a good lunch.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And for everybody who has been joining us today, don't forget the phone number that you need to call is 216 279 3984. 216 279 3984. Attorney Margaret W. Wong, with over 46 years of experience working and helping families and people like you and me. Thank you so much and have a good time and good lunch.